phone call.
The phone call. Calling Mr. Rick Edmond right now.
Perfect.
All right.
Mike, how can I help you?
Hi, I was hoping to reach Rick Edmond if you got the chance.
Yeah, can I tell him who's calling?
Yes, this is Jason Bowers. I called him yesterday. I'm a student at Kent State.
Okay, give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Mr. Edmond, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm okay. I was just calling back because I had some updates to give to you as well as some more questions that I had to ask if this is a good time.
Sure.
Alrighty, so you know how you were telling me about how that AT or the AT Pro 88 receiver and transmitter was a bit, old for the time even now, and that I should probably be using a different product? Well,
Yeah.
funny story. Hello everyone, my name is Jason, and today I'm going to be giving you a brief tutorial on how to set up the Audio-Technica System 10 Pro lavalier mic transmitter and receiver kit. Now, to set up this microphone, you're going to need an audio recorder of some kind. We're currently using the Zoom F6. You're going to need a battery to power this, as well as an SD card to record. You're also going to need a pair of headphones to monitor what you're listening to. You're going to need the System 10 Pro transmitter, as well as the receiver. You're going to need a lavalier mic with a CW connection to put into the transmitter, as well as an XLR to 1/8 cord to connect to your audio recorder. And finally, it never hurts to have plenty of batteries. Let's get started. So what are the key differences between a transmitter and a receiver? Well, as you can see on the receiver, we have big antennas at the very top. That's for receiving the signal that is being sent from this transmitter, which you can see here has a much smaller antenna. On the transmitter, you will see at the very top that there is a button here. When you press and hold this button, this light right next to it will turn on and will start to glow green. Below that, you see our CW connector. This is a connection port for our lavalier microphone, which we will be setting up here in a second. If you slide this battery cover off, you will see the batteries, as well as a button to pair and a level. We will begin to pairing in just a second, but I want to move on to the receiver next. On the receiver, as I mentioned before, we have these two antennas at the top. These antennas are removable. You can unscrew them, and you can also put them back on. In between these antennas, there is a power button. When you press and hold, it will turn on. I'm not going to turn it on for this demonstration currently. On the bottom, you will see that there are two buttons and two indicators on the right side. These two buttons are System ID as well as pair, and then on the left, you will see peak and pair. These light indicators will tell you whether or not your receiver is actually paired with your transmitter and if the microphone is peaking or not. The System ID button is to switch between various different channels within the receiver's limits. This particular model has 8 channels, so you can go 1 through 8. And the pairing button is to pair the receiver to the transmitter. To connect this lavalier mic, when you see on the CW cable, there is 4 ports here and 4 prongs on the inside of the transmitter. So you're going to try your best to line up this transmitter to the lavalier mic, give it a few twists, and tighten it down. And then you should have your lavalier mic connected to your transmitter. Now, in order to set up the receiver, you just put your 1/8 inch aux cord into the output of the receiver, and then you would take the XLR port and you would connect it to your audio recorder, which we will be showing you right now. You're going to take the XLR end of the cable and plug it into whatever channel you want to on your audio recorder. In this instance, I'm plugging it into channel 1. You want to make sure that you are lining the prongs up with the receivers on the audio recorder, and it should click right into place. You also want to make sure that you plug a pair of headphones or any other audio monitoring device in, because you want to make sure that you can hear what you're actually recording. So you've plugged your lavalier mic into your transmitter, and you've plugged your XLR to aux into your receiver, as well as connecting it to your audio recorder, but you're still not getting a signal and you're not picking up any recordings. What's going on? Well, you have to pair the receiver to the transmitter. To do so, you're going to take your receiver, and at the very bottom, you will see a screen that currently is off, but when you press the System ID button at the top, you can switch between channels. I'm going to change this receiver to channel 6, and I'm going to press and hold the pair button. Then you'll see that that pairing button is blinking. I'm going to press and hold the pair button on the transmitter. And then as you can see on both of these screens, we have channel 6 here and channel 6 on our transmitter, which means that our transmitter and our receiver are now paired. Now I'm going to show you how to hook up the lavalier mic to whoever your subject might be. I'm going to start with the transmitter first. On the inside of the transmitter, you'll see that there is a clip. What I'm going to do is, in this instance, I'm going to take the transmitter and put it transmitter side on the inside into my back pocket. Now you may be asking why I'm not putting the transmitter on the outside, and that is because if the clip for this transmitter ends up snapping or breaking, the transmitter will fall, which can cause damage to the transmitter or break it and ruin a shot. Then I'm going to take the other end, which is the lavalier mic end. And on this, you will see that we have a little pinchy clip. I'm going to take this clip and I'm going to try to place it near my sternum on the inside of my chest. So I'm lining it up just underneath the button of my shirt here. I'm gonna actually take the time to move this down so that there's less slack between the clip and the microphone. And boom, we have a lavalier mic'd subject. All right, so you set up your lavalier mic, you have it hooked up to your transmitter, but what if you don't have a clip for your lavalier mic? Well, if you happen to have some gaffer's tape, you can actually take a roll of gaffer's tape and make a simple gaff triangle. Ta-da! Now you can take this cushioned piece of gaff tape lav and stick it anywhere. If you want to place this on the exterior of your subject, if you're not really worried about concealing it all that much, you can do so. Or you can place it on the inside of their clothing, near their sternum, having it facing towards their mouth as they speak. And boom, nice and concealed lavalier mic without having a clip. Alrighty, as you can see, based on the levels here shown on our audio recorder, we're getting a nice clear and clean signal coming through. Now I do want to mention that the AT System 10 Pro is currently discontinued, but despite that, Rick Edmond from Audio-Technica tells us that this is a very reliable option to pick up and use compared to most other options that are on the market today. It is very durable, its CW connector provides a high resolution recording for lavalier mics, and 2.4 gigahertz provides plenty of good signal ranges to choose from when recording. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this tutorial was beneficial for you. If you have any more questions, feel free to forward them at sangelo@kent.edu, and go Flashes!